Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through!
The wheels are spinning and there's no time to think. Some days just get ahead of you, and that's when you have to fumble through. That's correct. A podcast that's up for its annual performance review. What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you'd stuffed it. You went up. And for his,
I thought I may have fucked it up and covered it, but I think I did it beautifully.
I thought you were going with the podcast that's up its own ass.
Oh, my word.
Your eyebrows went up.
Certainly was a choose your own adventure moment.
Hello, people out there in the fantasy land of reality, and thanks for once again tuning in. I have had a really busy, working, talking, and all that. I've had a really busy day today, and I
Feel free to start the sentence from the top without running it into it.
What? Kumbasa, fugade solo.
Wonky Chewbacca.
I feel like a wonky Chewbacca.
There's one in the fridge.
Is that a cocktail? I was going to say, is that a cocktail?
Hello, people out there in the fantasy land of reality. And thanks for once again tuning in. I have had a really busy day today. And while I feel my energy may be waning, I am looking forward to a good invigoration of game time. I had to work late today, so that's like a normal day for people in the real jobs and all that kind of stuff. But I am feeling it. I don't know how people out there do it, but it did get me thinking about something in our organization, though. You know what we've never done? We have never, ever voted for Employee of the Month. So let's hear your nominations. Go.
For where? Here?
Employee of the Month.
Well,
Vote for your Employee of the Month.
I think the dragon does quite well. I think the dragon does quite well.
Laertes?
Yeah. I think he's kept it warm. I don't think it's any humans at the table. Are there other options?
I think the rules.
Oh, that's a good call. There are 16 highly commended listeners out there.
Actually, I know. I've got a genuine one. I've got a legit one. I think the Employee of the Month here is your dice.
They don't work. They don't work ever.
They haven't done a full day's work in it.
That's right. They're killing it.
Just trying to have a nice time.
Well, go on. What's
We
your
are
employee?
having a nice time. Well, we are having a nice time.
You've thought about it.
I have thought
what do you
about it.
reckon?
I would like to nominate Lindsay because over the last little while, we have been doing some background work and trying to get things changed and do stuff. And Lindsay said, I'm going to hold people to account and get people on track. And you know what Lindsay did? He put a schedule of things to go on track. So Lindsay gets my vote for keeping us honest and making me do all the work so I can send him shit.
It's management material.
Yeah. So, but for holding us to account and for actually staying on point. Like I know, Brett, that you do all of the editing and there's lots of stuff
Currently,
to go.
Brett's the only one that does actually any work for
I
the
know
podcast.
that Luke turns up.
We're the divas.
Sometimes.
Embody.
I think I'll jump on Justin's bandwagon. I do think Lindsay has there's a level of energy that Lindsay you bring into not just the table but the business part of this that I don't think would keep us going. Like it keeps us going.
Do you know what? I would bring that to the table as well, that Lindsay is the employee because with the exception of this evening, he is the butt of the majority of the jokes at this table and cops
So
it
gracious.
with a smile on his face
Right.
and his eyes in his phone.
I don't think he's listening. His ears are hurting too much.
That's the same way he cops it from his sister wife.
Mother wife.
With a smile on his face and his eyes in his
I've learned
phone.
to, after 30 years, I've learned to filter out the babble of
From who? Careful.
everyone.
Right.
Everyone. You don't do that? You don't have the babble filter on?
No.
Sorry, what were we talking about?
Seriously though, Lindsay, there's an energy that you brought to this that I think Employee of the Month is great.
Oh,
Luke,
thank you. Do I get
best
a plaque?
dressed.
I want a plaque photo on it.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
Photos on
Yep,
socials.
Yep.
Yep.
So you want a plaque with a photo on it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Plaque.
get on that, Lindsay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, fuck. That means he's going to give it to me to do.
No, I'll 3D print it.
Delegate. That's going to be this week's job.
Yep.
This week's job's going to come through.
He's found an STL
yeah,
right
we
now.
need a plaque.
I do want to special mention Justin because every week we turn up and there's a game that he has kind of prepared. And, dicey questions that, are hard to come up with every week
A
on
new
week.
one
You could
is
always say
really
like
hard.
he's in a really good season for dicey questions at the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, look, I just thought it'd be a really nice thing for us to celebrate for a while because you know what? In all honesty, I don't think we stop and actually pat each other on the back for enough.
Is
Because
this going to be a recurring thing?
what?
I reckon we should make it a recurring thing.
No, look, I was actually going to make a joke at the
Gets a
end
bit
of this.
boring after 4 weeks,
Yeah,
mate.
no matter who got it, I was like, this is the last and ever time. I really fucking hope it's not Lindsay because he's going to be smug forever if he is employee of the month forever.
And-
Like, just because no one ever got voted in again.
And with that comes a free coffee, Lindsay. Feel free to make it yourself.
We'll do.
And for everyone else. Free coffees for everyone. Yeah. So anyway, if you've got some ideas of how we can celebrate ourselves, maybe bring them to the table because in the future we should do some things about stuff that we like about this podcast.
What? In the future, we should do some things of stuff that we like.
And celebrate.
Thanks for the specificity.
Celebrate. I think we should take the time to go.
I think
'Cause
you're right.
sometimes I during the day I'm like, oh, we got to record tonight, and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be really grindy. There are times when when it feels like hard work, and then I get here and it's not hard work.
Do you know what I really want to do? And I just haven't figured out the logistics of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have the D&D cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally I want to bring food from the D&D cookbook for us to try.
For Brett to cook.
No. I mean, it can help if he wants.
How many recipes in there?
Quite a lot. I don't know.
How many
30
that you
odd.
can do under an hour and a half?
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Are
I
they
have to
very
figure out the
involved?
logistics to
Mm.
bring them here, and then we just try them. I'm not saying I'd cook them. I'm not turning us into a cooking show.
No, but I mean, like when you're going to do it an evening before you come here. So I mean, is going to be something you can prep that evening, or is it
That's why
something?
that's the logistics.
We could do a meet and greet
Logistics.
and banquet that stuff up for people who would turn up and pick several of those recipes.
This fucking escalated really quickly.
Well, it was food, so I was always going to escalate.
I also have the Dungeons and Dragons cocktail book as well.
I'm so glad you said tail.
The what's it called? Drink Master.
I do have the appendage spell
Drink
book.
Master DM book.
Yeah.
Right.
I do have a third party appendage spell book, which is all about
I think I've seen that.
the masculine, the organ and spells that can enlarge, that can make them torpid.
Where was that when?
Torpid.
Is that a word?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Tepid?
Tepid.
That's the way my wife looks at it.
Torpid, as in torpedo, or
Yeah, I think
torpid?
torpid means a form of rigidity. is
Where
what
was
I
that
wanna
spell
think.
book when I had J.R. Lockwood on deck?
Say something else. Where was that
true.
spell book on the weekend?
Yeah, and no, that's
Oh,
not
I
what it
don't need
means.
no
It
spells.
means mentally or physically inactive or lethargic.
Oh, there we go. It is true.
So it's yeah. That's,
In a torpid state. Torpid state.
That's my penis. Lethargic, inactive,
Invisible.
and all this winter weight.
Inverted.
Ah,
What was the question?
we're moving on. Lindsay's the first. First.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Lindsay.
Thank
There'll
you.
be a
Thank you.
ceremony.
Mhm.
And
Do I get a photo with Henry Cavill and he hands me a certificate?
yes.
Cool.
And
Wasn't
I'll-
Henry
I'll-
Cavill
I'll-
here last week?
I'll work on photoshopping that now.
you can do the voiceover.
Look, I really think that conversation showed a lot about our working dynamic, and we learnt a bit about how we are at the moment. But I want to switch it up for today's dicey question. What are the things that you think role playing teaches the best?
Oh. Yeah. There's forgiveness. I've always said, and I will continue to say, that I think this game teaches us skills to walk in someone else's shoes. It's those art skills that I love about it, though, the ability to be empathic to another person, to understand another person, to be able to explore what that might be very, very safely. I really love that, the idea that I can be, Flopsy, do the thing that I'd never be able to do in real life. I can be the thing that, I'd love to explore that for a bit in a really safe way and without any kind of risk attached to judgment or, retribution or any of that stuff. I love that. And I love the fact that I can get together with three of my best friends and go, let's just fuck around for a couple of hours. I love that.
For a minute when he said 4-3, I was like, who's he excluded?
Well, Laertes.
Who's he excluded?
Yeah. I think that genuinely those two things, I think this has a huge opportunity to do good in the world through that.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think communication is maybe not so much in amongst.
Fucking hell. Finish the sentence, communication boy.
I really think talking.
I hate you guys sometimes.
You just did 2 half sentences on a communication rant.
Yeah, true.
It's like getting a text message from you.
I was trying to figure out the best way to do it, but there is certain scenarios that we hit that you have to think on your fly on how to communicate with that Denzian or in that scenario.
Yep.
And as you can tell, I'm not really great at thinking on my feet.
5 words you got wrong in that sentence, but yeah.
Next.
It's all right.
I was going to leave it alone.
You've got the plaque.
I was going to leave it alone. Yeah, I'm best talker in group.
I'm going to keep looking up romantic novel synonyms.
Why?
Because I know which word you're trying to think of. I can't think of the name.
Okay.
Turgid?
Turgid.
Yeah, Brett got that straight from his mind.
Yeah.
Nice. Luke, have you got one?
I think it teaches you to find joy and the ability to discover what level of wriggle room you have while operating under the uncompromising totalitarian control of a dictator. I think that's...
I thought you were going to say rule set.
That's what he is. That's what he refers to the rule set as.
Oh, right.
That's why he doesn't read it. He's like, that's a fuck you to the world. He's certainly not talking about me.
Yeah, no. You're not Mr. Potato Head in our text messages.
Not at all.
Not the grand tater.
I do also think that there is a bit of faith that about faith you can be learnt from playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Explain.
Like, your dice rolls make me believe in God.
Do you mean actually convinces you that you could be a gambling man?
No, it convinces me Justin couldn't be a gambling man.
What about you, Justin? Why do you do this thing?
Yeah, tell us your answer you've prepared for the last 2 weeks.
What have you written down?
I don't know. I was looking at something on my iPad.
Turgid.
I was looking at porn. Trying to get some words that I feel.
Turgid porn.
Torpid porn.
It's not very active. It's not very active.
Yeah.
It's a slow watch.
I think role playing in my life has taught me all the most important things about it. But I really think the biggest thing it teaches is how to get on with other people, how to negotiate the emotions and feelings of others. I think it's a really important skill in life, in communication. And when we play this game, sometimes you're pretending to have those emotions and sometimes you really are having those emotions, and you have to figure out a way to work through that or get through it or, deal with it. And I think that's probably the most important skill. The human connection.
So, I'm just trying to understand that, and it's hard for me to grasp all of the bits of that as you lay your response above all of ours as the most important one.
It's communication.
Right, okay.
Communication.
Tell me about that. Explain that one more time for me, because I don't quite.
I think it teaches people how to interact with others in a way. Like I've learned more about social interaction playing D&D than I've learned in most other facets of my life, and I work with
explains a
people full time.
Do you think that's because you can push the boundaries of the interaction at the table, and you can go, actually, that's where I stepped over it, or I could have gone a bit harder in that, or there was some more work that I could have done to kind of resolve that without going to violence, and violence isn't an option in the real world, and actually that's where the boundary, is it that stuff?
Look, I think some of it is playing. So I think some of it is the play, the make-believe side of this game means that I can go to Lindsay and I can push him to a place that I know is going to be uncomfortable for both of us, but we have that safety net of it being a role-playing game. But I also, on top of that, know that there's a layer where I'm talking to Lindsay, and if he becomes uncomfortable and it stops being that layer of, that barrier that we're just on the other side of the fence in role-playing land, but it's come into reality now. Like, I think looking at that, like we've had some big things happen at our tables. We've had arguments, we've had tears, we've had moments that we never expected. Like it comes to mind, like the moment with the Rat Man was a real moment for me. Like I still feel the emotion of that moment. And I think being able to negotiate that communication and being able to negotiate and bring people and communicate and work together through that communication, I think, being able to say, I've got an argument with someone. Okay, you're making a really good rule about flying here, but I feel like you're receiving it in a really negative connotation or something along those lines. But, there's a whole heap in here around how do you communicate? How do you get over? And I think because of it, I've been better at communicating and understanding my interactions with human beings.
I think a lot of time I use it as well to fill gaps that I'm missing in my life. So like for J.R. Lockwood, taking that leadership role, I think was part that I really enjoyed, because quite often I have to, I have a boss, I have a wife, I have to take, that back foot a lot of the time. Don't you guys smile at me? I know you guys all do it too. Having that, leadership role, something I've never had a chance to experience before, and I kind of really enjoyed that. So,
do you think since you played JR, you've been a better leader at your work?
I've definitely been a better lover.
Well played.
Asked and answered.
Well played. Well played.
It's because he's not the boss.
Right. No, I'm serious though. Do you think you've taken that back to work and gone, actually, I do have a boss, but I can still be a leader here? Like, there's an opportunity for me to take some of those learnings from the table and put it into my real life and go, actually, there are people, I work as part of a team, but as part of a team, I can step forward and hold some weight there.
Yeah, there's definitely some lessons to be learned on making everyone feel part of a team, like important as part of a team. It's like the things I have said to you guys all the time is like, one of my biggest peeves with you guys is healers. Like, you guys always say, I don't heal. And that's like, you got to make them feel wanted as a healer,
Right.
And that's something I think I've learned from D&D is that every role has an important step that you need to acknowledge.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I'm not healers in this game, don't worry.
No.
I do have healing spells, but
don't use them.
Occasionally.
Right.
Yeah.
Did everyone really just heard Lindsay say I'm not a healer?
Yeah, because I'm a
We
witch.
move forward.
I'm a witch.
We move forward. Well, with that said, Luke, have you got anything you'd like to add now that it's gotten real?
Has it got real?
It's gotten turgid.
Before I cut into the last bit of my statement about the totalitarian governance of the game, what I was saying was legit, like finding the joy in those difficult moments of because they are fictional and have no necessarily real fallout from them. You can find the freedom to operate in those spaces and play around without the pressure of the reality of having to make a choice that is final.
Or long-term life
in the same sense in
consequence.
the real world. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like choices without consequences in a way.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
And you can beat the shit out of people and just murder hobo your way through anything.
You guys don't do that in real life?
Not anymore. I've grown as a human. Speaking of murder hobos, it's time to game up. Time to game up. Where are we?
We're in some freaking alternate dimension universe.
We're at the Black Ross.
Black Ross thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know.
I can imagine Tia walking out of the museum holding a limp body of a young lady, canister in one hand, lady draped over her arms, but not in this universe.
Tia's not here.
But she's doing that where she is.
Is she?
I don't know.
Don't try and play my game, Brett.
That's what she's doing.
Totalitarian dictator says no.
She's holding this turgid body of a woman.
Well done. Well done. Oh, we need to have a number, a letter, and a word of the day. That would be
We're
great.
playing D&D bingo.
Every time someone says turgid, you have to drink until you yourself become turgid.
Yes. Turgid squared. Now we're at the Black Ross.
Yeah, you are at the Black Ross.
we've
What
just-
is the exhibit that is happening
We've
right
just
now?
spoken to Nigel Aldane outside.
Numerian exhibit.
Oh, yes. Yep.
A Numerian expedition. There's some big robot people, and if I remember correctly, robots were just about to beat the shit out of us.
Yeah, the Technic League have been through here.
Mhm.
They're from Silvermount, right?
They are from
And
Silvermount.
We're looking for Pendleton,
Pendleton is his wife, is
nephew,
Nigel's wife's sister's middle son.
also known as his nephew.
Or nephew. No, that's not communication enough. You need to be more specific. Specificity. So, yes, you are here. The Technic League is, what do we remember about this? I gave you a history lesson about a couple of things.
From Silvermount.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't make any sense what I wrote down there. Sidra Ha Mulrak Zia second betray.
Yeah, that was the so basically, essentially, in the history of Numeria, there was a thing called Starfall where things fell out of the sky. In player knowledge, they were spaceships. So a spaceship from another planet came.
I
and
don't know if we
fell
would know that in player knowledge.
in
Yeah,
player knowledge, and
I still didn't see it.
fell
You still didn't know that.
fell to the ground. But that happened ages ago, and then from there was a survivor that was her name, Brett, that you just used.
Sidra Ha.
Lilo Dallas Motipas.
Multipass. Yes. So that was Sidra Emeris was the person, and she basically was trying to go back to the mounts and find stuff, but was betrayed because people figured out, you know, what's better than an
That's right.
army of soldiers.
Mulrak Zia was her second and
Yeah.
betrayed her, right?
Army of robot soldiers. So
Yeah.
they poisoned the leader of the land, and they got these robot type soldiers together, and the Technic League took over until the Technic League stopped. And they know of these robots as gearsmen. So you would probably have heard tales of gearsmen before. But what you happened upon is the opening area of the Black Ross Museum. So
we were heading to the main exhibition where we think she's
Yeah.
at,
So
and there was a big robot, and it has two arms outstretched.
it does. And from those arms sprang some electricity. And
And
that
little
electricity
robots.
hit some of the robots that are standing upon the side of the area. And a whole heap of sparks flew between all of these robots. There's multiples, and not just one or two or three or four. There's multiple robots that are all standing in there. A way of entering into the Black Ross Museum for this Numerian exhibit. And this giant robot stands with its arms outstretched over the two entryway doors. On the walls, if you remember, artwork, so they have actually turned this room into a bit of an opening gallery that showcases Absalom and showcases some of the best of the arts that you can find here. Different pictures, some better than others, some historically significant, some because they paid good money to have their art put in the Black Ross Museum, and it's time for that to happen. But what you do know is that all of these gearsmen that are sitting in this have had a stroke of lightning upon them. Somebody or everybody give me a perception check.
Oh, don't mind if I do.
What'd you get?
26.
Oh, 26.
25 for Reg.
25 for Reg.
Nice.
And Miles.
21.
Oh, look out.
Reg and Miles. No? Reg and Flopsy. Sorry.
I thought you were going to say you don't see a thing.
No. Miles misses this, but what you guys see is the electricity.
21.
You only just got it. The electricity sparks into one of the robots, and just from the corner of your eye, you can see two of the robots begin to move. Two of these gearsmen start to twitch and to move. You get a surprise round to do something, anything that you like, before anything goes off. Just to give you a picture of what this room is. Oops. Oh, geez. Oh, don't push that button.
The robots are taking over.
You're in a 40 by 40 foot square room with pillars that line 10 foot in. So every 10 foot in, like from the sides, and every 10 foot there is 3 pillars on either side of it that really frame this giant robot that's in the back of it, which is about 10 foot large, 15 foot high because it's on a plinth. And then across all of the edges, you see these robots, and the two of the robots begin to move.
How close are they to each other?
They are on opposite corners. So imagine the front, the square. It's the two front corners that are right near the opening front doors.
How high is the roof?
I can tell you that in this.
How big are
room,
these things, did you say?
They're medium creatures.
Oh, okay.
Look out, those two seems to have animated. Beware, they might have electrical powers.
Hang on, I thought those were statues. What's going on?
No time for talking. Surprise!
It's not like we haven't been hit by a statue before.
True.
The roof in here is 15 foot high.
Are they mushrooms?
There's a giant robot, but the roof is 15
Every time you want to
Pillars.
fly, he's going to make sure that
Yeah,
you
the
cannot
robot
do it.
goes all the way to the roof. So the robot is outstretched. Remember, its arms are overseeing the two doors into the entryway there. So it's kind of lining. Like imagine their arms outstretched in a T shape, and the doors are under.
He's T-posing for dominance.
So Flopsy's going to grab a bomb and throw it at the closest one if it's within 30 feet.
Mm-hmm. It is, because the whole room is 40 by 40.
That's a natural 20.
Oh, that's lovely.
So we'll roll again and see if a 19 hits
A 19 does not hit.
Flat-footed.
Flopsy.
because it hasn't acted yet.
A 19 does not hit.
On a
Flopsy.
flat-footed. Holy heck.
They might not have flat feet because they're robots. They might have wheels or something.
I always think my bombs are touch attacks, but they're not. So that's not a confirmed crit. It's just a crit, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. 10 points of damage.
10 points of a damage. 1 and creature 2. I'm just putting some creatures in here at the moment just to give you a peek behind the curtain.
Well, just give you a peek behind the curtain. It's
Bit of a
a
creature.
little disappointed not to have Tia here at this point.
Not for me. Not for me. What kind of damage is that, Brett, from a bomb? From a bomb.
I think it's bludgeoning and fire is what they describe it as.
So half? So would it be like 5 bludgeoning, 5 fire? Is that how it's split up?
It doesn't actually describe the damage.
Okay.
But I think somewhere I read bludgeoning and fire.
Oh.
Yeah, you can mix it up if you want.
You feel like not all of that damage went through. So yes, you see it splash and parts of your bomb like the napalm. I always imagine your bombs are a bit like napalm scoring people
Yeah.
and burning, and
There
you know,
might be
there's
a-
a bit of explosive
little-
damage and
yeah.
concussive damage
Yeah.
all at the same time. And because it's until we figure that one out, we'll shelve that till later. But you feel like not all of that damage went through. What are you going to do, Reginald?
So how far away are they?
You are equidistant in the middle, and that means that you have 15 foot to the nearest creature.
Oh, they're really close then. They're walking. They're on legs. They're not on anything like else.
No, they're like giant suits of armor with one central spire. So think of these robots like big kind of full plate armor that's a little bit more burly. Every part of it is covered in these metal plates that kind of
It's fire damage. Sorry.
that move together. And on the very inside of the helm, the very front, there's like a cyclops eye, like a camera kind of lens.
And what are they armed with?
They look like they've got spears in their hands.
Okay, so I'm going to move up and trip,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm going to kind of like, for the flavor, I'm going to run in and kind of slide tackle one of them.
Yep, cool. So you're going to do the one that isn't the one that Flopsy just threw the stuff at, or the one that
Is the one that
Flopsy-
flips you the stuff out still on fire?
It's
like
not.
kinda look
No,
burning?
it kind
No,
of.
these bombs never
Yeah, it's like
maintain fire.
and
Right,
they're not.
yeah, I'll do that one because I think that probably one's maybe, if anything, my chances are better there because it might be shaken. I know
Yeah, no
in
problem.
gaming context it's not going to be, but
Yeah,
here we
no
go.
problem.
Ooh, hello. So that is trip, and I have a 20 on the trip.
I'm going to say this with all seriousness. Just.
Oh, really? I thought I had a better roll than that anyway. All right, so yes, is it tripped?
Yes, it's on the floor.
Lovely.
So it falls on the floor.
as
Clang.
it goes down. 16, does that hit?
A 16 does not
Okay,
hit.
so I miss it as it goes down. I swing wide as it's
Yep.
falling.
So you
It falls a little
charge,
quicker than I
charge
expected.
and trip.
Yep.
Which is what you can do on a surprise round, because remember, a surprise round is only half an action
Mm.
that you've got. And now, guys, it's initiative time.
Justin, I just looked up that thing and Lindsay helped with the bomb damage. It's fire damage on the dice, but intelligence damage on the bonus. Somehow that's how it works.
Intelligence damage.
Yeah, so you go 1d6 fire damage plus
I think that's-
damage equal to your intelligence modifier.
which is still fire
Ah.
damage.
Is it?
Yeah,
Right,
it'll still
okay.
be typed fire, but you get a bonus damage because you managed to put it in
Oh,
the
I
right.
thought you
kinda
were
like
saying
the
you'd
idea
make them
makes-
thicker.
Makes him dumber, yeah.
That'd have been amazing.
All right.
Sorry, I was all over the mic then.
We are going to. So, Reginald, okay, who reckons they got the highest amount of initiative here?
Yeah,
Whose
not me.
initiative do you reckon? What'd you get, Reg?
14.
Okay, Reginald's probably not going to be the best here. Miles?
11.
Flopsy?
You ready for it?
Go
Yeah.
on, Flopsy.
7.
No. I thought for sure I'd stuff that. Oi.
Do you think it's worth killing these guys, or should we just run past?
It's never good leaving an enemy at your rear.
Yeah, but I was just thinking of the last time we were doing this, and there was a controller controlling all the mushroom people.
That's
Maybe it's kind of similar, and we just need to get to the controller that's controlling the robots.
You think this big giant robot in the middle is a battery power for it? or
Maybe something like that.
Mm.
I don't know what a battery is, but
Interesting. Yes, it's a electrical generator.
all right. I don't know, Reg.
What?
Do you reckon you could take out the big guy?
I don't know. Maybe. He's on the floor in a minute. I'll give it a go.
Okay, I was just saying, you've got the boots,
What?
the climbing boots.
What do I need to climb?
The big guy, the 15-foot guy.
I thought they were medium creatures.
The two that started moving are definitely medium creatures.
The other one,
but,
so that is,
but
are we,
the
There's a giant
initial
guy.
are we
bit
not
of
perceiving
lightning...
that as a threat yet? Is that actually anything?
Well, he's the one that charged up the other robots.
The initial bit of lightning seemed to come out from his outstretched hands.
were,
cut off his
were they
hands.
already outstretched, or were they?
Yeah, they were already. He hasn't moved. You
Right.
haven't perceived any movement from
Yeah.
him or any of the
That's
other
cool.
gears.
That's cool.
within
Yeah.
the
So
room.
as far as Reg is concerned, with his average intelligence, that just looks like a statue that's, yeah, not necessarily something to take. Eight.
See how I use the term you haven't perceived any movement?
Yeah. Well played.
Yeah. I use language.
Coffee's kicked in, is it?
Reginald, what are you doing?
Mine go already.
Reginald. Yes.
All right,
This is
so-
the first round of combat.
All right. So I've got one on the floor in front of me.
Negotiations or parley.
So I got one on the floor in front of me.
You do have one on the floor in front of you, Reg.
Right, I'm just going to wail on it. Both hands. Okie dokie.
3 points of damage incoming.
Here we go. Yeah. So hang on. Let's leave that one to the side there. That's a nice one. I like that. Does a 27?
Sure does.
No, I've gone too far there. Sorry.
You've gone too far.
There's a 23 hit.
It sure does.
Okay. Yay. Get the D6s out. Let's go.
Pull it back, Reginald. You've gone too far.
Okay. So that is 4 points of damage.
Okay. Your
Uh,
fist clangs onto its hard metal shell.
Okay. So does a 24 hit?
A 24 does, because
So that
23
confirms
also
the
did.
critical that I
Oh,
just rolled
okay.
a 20 on. So
Okay.
what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Double damage.
What?
What are we doing?
Crit card.
For crit. You want a crit? Yeah, crit card. So that's what I say. What are we
Crit
doing?
card, crit card.
Oh, I need a charger.
Use a
I
robot.
was hoping
Double damage it is then.
I was hoping this wouldn't work because my crit app has fallen out of. I forgot to charge my iPad with the crit. App.
Double damage.
How about we just do normal double damage this
Good
time?
old
It's got
classic.
nothing to do with me being unprepared and not charging the app with all the
2d6.
criticals
You watch
on
this.
it.
I'll roll a 1 and a 1.
Add your strength to both of those.
What?
You've
Did you jinx yourself?
No, kind of half, a little bit. Yeah. 7 points of damage total.
what was the other one?
4 and a 1.
From this angle,
Still
it
a
looked
one.
like 2 ones.
Yeah. How very disappointing.
Can I just say?
Magical damage, remember, because my hand.
I get it. I get it. I've just realized just how.
Important tier is.
Yeah.
How fucked we are.
So I'm going to read you a bit because I think this bit is really important for you. This creature takes 150% damage on a critical hit. So if you critical hit this robot, it has a vulnerability to critical hits. So when you crit it, you didn't just do 7 damage, you did 10 damage.
Wow. Its soft
To
spot
this
is a
creature.
real soft spot.
And can I tell you,
That did nothing.
you see minimal effect on the creature.
So I feel like the hit, like just like when you hit the cue ball just right, and you just know the ball's going to go down the pocket.
Yeah.
Just like I've smacked this thing, and I've been like, yeah, that's the sweet spot, and nothing's really
And
happened.
your
the
knuckles.
table's on the piss.
And then you do the Jackie Chan, my knuckles.
Yeah.
Kind of shaking your hand out. Even a critical hit from Reg does not seem to enact too much damage onto
racist.
this creature. Wow. Yeah, I didn't think that was. Look, I'm just playing it as it's written here. I'm just changing these to higher. Yeah.
Cool.
Excuse me for 1 second, just to clear rules out, because I don't want to make this a ridiculous podcast any more than it already has been, is, or will be in the future. That brings us to Miles McCarthy. Miles, you see Reg absolutely clobber. You see a hit that would probably lay low most people on Earth, and you just see it hit this metallic chest of this creature, this gearsman, and almost bounce off it. Boom!
Guys, my Grundenauer sensors telling me we need to get out of here and leave these guys alone and go find Pembleton. Follow me. I'm gonna move. I move 30 feet, and as I can I get how far? You said
40
it's 40 foot. I'm going to misfortune the one that is not under Reg.
That is not under Reg. So the one that has been touched.
Correct.
Alrighty. That is, it's fortitude? No, wisdom.
Wisdom. Robots can't be very wise, right? They're robots.
14.
Fails. Just anyway. And then I move 30 feet
Okay, so
down
you move
towards the doors.
You move more than halfway across the room towards the double doors in the rear, as they say. It's the robot's turn. So the first thing that happens, Reg, is the robot that is in front of you stands up.
Okay. Does a 20?
Yes.
Okay, so he does not stand up. He falls
Okay.
once again.
That was versus CMD, right? That was a trip attack?
Yes.
Yep.
Then as he's going down, does a 21 hit him?
It sure does.
Okay. For 6 points of damage as he goes down
For
straight
6
to the
points of damage.
chest.
Again, kung, you don't even see a dent in his armor. His armor seems to be soaking all of this damage up. He stands straight back up again.
Again, does a 20 trip him?
It does.
And that will not hit. And that is all my attacks of opportunity this round used up.
You see a bit of a flicker of light in its eyes, and you can hear I imagine this to be a little bit like dial-up internet, the sound of dial-up internet.
Nice.
As these high-pitched whining and weaning and kind of different noises that kind of moves around, and you hear a similar sound from the one that has just been misfortuned on the other side of the room, as they seem to be communicating something between each other. You can see the lenses spin a little bit, change color. The irises within them kind of open and shut a little bit, and the light changes.
I speak binary.
So
I speak bocce.
yeah, they said 01001. And the one that you have misfortuned, Miles, charges straight upon you.
Upon me?
No, Miles.
Oh, Miles, right.
At the end of its charge, it swings its spear towards you, almost using it like a club. As it swings towards you, you can see crackling lightning emanate from the edges as it seems to be irradiated with lightning. But the swing goes too high and misses.
Oh, a duck.
I am fairly sure that a 14 is not going to hit you.
No, but it's close.
Oh, wait. Sorry. It's a charge. 16.
Oh, and then yes, it does.
Oh,
hit.
no.
Oh, it does?
Oh, no.
I thought your armor class was way more than that. And I
Don't wear
thought that their
armor.
base
AC
attack
15.
I thought their base attack bonus was way less than that. So yes, this club I actually was just going to move on, and I thought, no, I'll just check this. So I'm kind of glad I did. This electrical spear hits. Oh fuck me! Hits you physically for 13 points of damage and 1 point of electrical.
You think all of that goes through?
Flopsy.
Flopsy wants to do an intelligence check.
Did he roll
on these.
disadvantage?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's why I thought I missed.
Sorry.
It's all right. Flopsy wants to do an intelligence check on these creatures if he can. What would you like me to roll?
An intelligence check on these creatures. It's a
Engineering?
construct. So it's a
Engineering?
no. Yeah, it would. Yes, engineer.
Engineering? Engineering? Oh, natural 20 again, Justin. 29.
So this is a gearsman robot. You know that these things are quite sturdy. So in battle, they are very renowned for being rough and tough. So they are designed to take hit after hit after hit. You know that they have a vulnerability to hits in the sweet spot. So when you hit them and you hit them well, you do more damage than normal. You also know that they have a vulnerability to electrical damage. So the Wizards of Thay understood the electrical damage, but they are infused with the ability to heal themselves.
Do they?
Yes.
Repair.
Yes.
Just describe the room one more time and where people are in it so I can... Miles with the creature.
40 by 40 foot square room. Miles is in one corner with a robot. no, sorry. Reg is in one corner with a robot.
Yeah.
And Miles has basically come through the front 2 doors and moved 30 foot across
He's
the
almost
room.
at the entrance
So
to
he's
the main.
he's 10 foot away from, so he's basically almost in front of that big statue. He's just got to go
Yeah,
to the
right.
left or the right of that statue to get to a set
Gotcha.
of those double doors.
Flopsy's going to pull out a sticky gooey bag from his backpack
Mm-hmm.
and throw it at the creature next to Miles.
Sure.
If he needs to move closer to get within 20 feet, he will, but he won't get closer than 20 feet.
Okay, so you move up to within 20 feet, which you would have to move.
Does a 17 touch attack hit it?
It certainly does.
So a tanglefoot bag bursts open in midair and glues it to the ground. Make a reflex 15, please.
Okay. You make a reflex 15. Natural 18.
So you are not stuck to the ground, but you are slowed to half speed
Oh,
as this
okay.
gets in all your gears and glues you up.
Okay. Anything else that I've got to know about that?
It changes your vulnerability to everything.
Anything else that I need to know about
No,
that?
that's it.
How do you get rid of it?
You don't.
So it's permanent forever.
Oh, the goo becomes brittle and fragile after 2d4 rounds, cracking apart and losing its effectiveness.
All right. Can you roll 2d4 and make a note of that? We are in currently round number 1, Flopsy. So
Cool.
this is now round number 1. Just make that thing. So it's basically, what did you say? Half movement.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Round number 2. Reginald, what are you going to do?
As the one still in front of me on the grind.
It certainly is.
All right, so I'm going to spend a point of key to get a full round action of 3 attacks.
Okay.
So the first 2. So does a 20. Hang on, no. Yes, a 20 hit.
Yes.
Then the other one will as well. So let's do the damage for those quickly.
Can I look, in the spirit of this game, Reg, in the spirit of the fact that you are a pretty special little man, okay,
You want to be a bit more descriptive.
I would like to add all of your damage together because I feel like your monk attacks are a connected,
Okay.
you know, I think there's a pneumatic
So like a flowing kind of
yeah,
like boom, boom, boom,
move
boom.
to that. So, yeah, I feel like, you know, I want to bend the rules a little bit and say that your damage, I want it all added up
He
into
wants to give us
one.
a fighting
He's
chance.
throwing us a bone, right? Because we
Yeah.
are dead in the water otherwise.
Into maybe one bit of damage.
Okay,
you know,
cool. All right,
because
so let me hold that then.
so
and I'll roll for the third
you
one.
usually have 2 attacks.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess in those instances, the 2 attacks, add those 2 together. It's when the third one, yeah, just add them all together.
Yep. Okay.
I don't know where I was going
I
then.
got to be successful for the third attack, which, okay. I am. So that's a 21 on that one as
Yeah,
well.
I feel like you're going to hit most of the time.
Yep,
What's your bonus to
okay.
hit these days?
+1. Oh, no, to hit, sorry. But you meant damage.
Fuck, 21. You just got a natural 20.
+7 is my bonus to hit.
So yeah, you got a good chance.
Yeah. That's great. 17 points of damage.
17 points of damage. Awesome. So you do feel like not all of that goes through.
Even though it's magical.
But
Wow.
this time, there is some damage that goes through, unlike the last times. So just to give you a fighting chance, I think that is
Sure.
fair. The
Reginald,
otherwise,
get out of here.
there is not an amount of damage because this is not it's not like damage reduction. It's not. It's a very different thing. So yeah, that's you would never. You guys were fucked without Tia.
Are we? Yep.
Even with Tia, that was pretty fucking hard to do. Miles McCarthy. You have a guy next to you that's got all gooey all over him.
He's going to 5-foot step back,
Yep.
cast Misfortune on the one at Reggie's feet,
Uh-huh. He is misfortuned.
and then he's going cackle, extending the round. Ah, ha, 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 ha.
Not a healer.
Yeah.
It's time for robots. I'm going to start with you, Miles. The creature that is in front of you is going to 5-foot step up to you and swing.
Bada swing.
Just going to roll twice. that one.
Good, you misfortune. You meant to.
Does a 26 hit you?
Yeah.
It is not a critical fumble. It misses you. As the goo seems to tangle it up, it trips a little bit, and the spear runs so low that you just step over the top of it.
Cool.
And for you, Reg,
Mm-hmm.
you again hear as this communicative kind of sound comes through. And instead of trying to stand up this time, the creature swings at you, taking a negative to its attack roll from the ground.
Okay.
That is going to be a...
Does that not trigger a attack of opportunity?
No,
Okay.
a 21 to hit you. Yes,
Sure.
misfortuned. And yes,
Yes, it
with
does. Yes, it
negatives to
does.
its hit for being prone. It does hit you?
Give me a second. Let me just double check whether I can do something as a swift action.
Okie dokie.
I don't think I can.
I really want to crit. Critting with these things would be so
What did you say
much
that
fun.
you hit me with?
21, I believe.
21. Oh, okay. No, I can use a swift action, right?
Yep.
Can I use a swift action at this point?
Yes, you can.
All right, so I'm going to use another point of key and give myself a +4 AC bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, that does
And you
not
definitely
hit.
can use 2 points of key in one round.
Yeah.
Just
How many swift actions can I take in a round?
only one.
Oh, then no then. All right, that hits.
Yeah. Oh, so you have to use a swift action every time you do
I think,
a point
yeah, I
of
think
key.
every time I use it,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I asked. I thought in the back of my head I had you can only use one
Some
key
of them,
point around.
if you've got key, you can do it. Some of them is use a key point. And you may be right that that's Swifties to use the key point.
Yeah, and I think because the extra attack is like a not
Unless
all
it's
the
an
time.
immediate.
No, the extra attack is use the key of point, which is a swift action.
Yeah. Being magical always happens when if you have a key point.
Yeah, so I just have to have one in the
magical.
one in the bank,
One- yeah.
and they're always magical. Yeah,
One in the bank and one in the tank.
And the other one is a Swift as well. It's not immediate, right?
yeah,
yeah. So no, you cannot do that. But does 21 hit you?
yes, it does.
Okay. A spear juts out at you, just thrusts straight towards you, catching you in the left shoulder,
Ooh.
Reginald, and you take an enormous amount of damage. There's 9 points of damage from physicality
Physicality.
and 5 points of electrical damage.
So 14 in total.
That is a lot of damage from this thing. And, it stands up.
No, it does not.
Okay. All right. So it falls.
After taking the spear to the shoulder, it spins me round, and I sweep back out with the leg as it goes down. While falling, I just graze its chin with a right hook.
Yep.
Not enough to hit it, though.
Okay. And
I'm guessing an 18 doesn't.
No, it does not. It
Okay.
uses its spear to kind of maneuver itself out of the way as it falls to the ground again. And again, you hear that kind of noise coming through. And then the other one responds in kind. And they you see them both kind of, their gears whirl, things happen. And you can hear that communication between the two creatures. The hive mind is up.
It's the
Flopsy.
Borg. Harkening back to a engineering check of 29, I think it was.
Mhm.
Does Flopsy know if these creatures are susceptible to mind affecting?
Gonna make me look it up, Brett. Sorry. Oh, I had this.
So while you're looking it up, he's interested in, is it mind affecting? What kind of vision type can they see in the dark vision? And no, that'll do.
You think that they do not have any immunities to mind affecting, Brett?
Are they susceptible though?
What do you mean?
Like it will work on them.
Do you believe so?
Great. And dark
I
vision?
like that they don't have immunities, but are they susceptible?
Well, just being super clear,
Haha, got you. I said they don't have immunities. It doesn't mean they work on them.
they're not immune because they don't have brains. And dark vision?
You believe so?
Great. Flopsy's going to give the one next to Reginald a little touch up with a ray of enfeeblement.
Nice.
Sorry. He's going to give it a little touch up with cause fear.
With cause fear.
Yep.
Okay. I like it.
So he pulls out a little bit of guano from his pouch and rubs it in his finger, and he just goes to lick it and then drops it because everyone's scared of licking on guano.
Guano.
So you get to make a saving throw, Justin.
Yep. Is it a will save?
It is a DC 16 will save.
Oops.
Does it have 5 or fewer hit dice?
It does have 5 or fewer hit dice.
Well, then it takes effect on your misfortune creature if you did not roll.
I did not roll well.
You are afeared.
Haha, joke's on you. You asked me if it was mind affecting, not whether spells could affect it. Haha, gotcha. No, I'm joking.
It is afeared.
It is
And will
afeared.
run.
So that was Reggie's one, right?
Run, rabbit, run. And Flopsy will say, Reginald,
Yes.
clear out. Get to the main hall.
So it's frightened?
Yep.
Or shaken? I think it's frightened.
It runs as if panicked. I think panicked is the one, Justin.
Yep. Is it panicked? So you
Yeah.
got to get there.
An invisible cone of terror causes each living creature
Yeah.
to become panicked
Okay.
unless it succeeds on the will save. If cornered, they'll begin cowering. If they succeed, it's shaken for 1 round.
Okay. No, it's very important that I know the difference between that because they have very specifically different things that happen to them. So
Sorry.
it is not a feared, it is a panicked.
Hang on, I've just got to. Can I check on something? Can I rules lawyer this thing as
Yeah.
well, please? Because the fear spell is different to cause fear, and I've looked up the fear spell. Please hold. Frightened, not panicked.
Oh, now I have to rewrite it.
The affected creature becomes frightened. If the subject succeeds on its save, it is shaken for 1 round. As creatures with 6 or more hit dice are immune, cause fear counters, or dispels remove fear.
So the reason why I asked that, Brett, is because the difference between panicked and frightened is
Yeah.
that the panicked creature drops their weapons.
Right.
And also tries to do it. Can you just, are you still got the spell in front of you?
Yeah.
Can you tell me now what I'm worried about here? Okay. And don't let Luke, can we just go over here and just whisper without Luke hearing?
Yep.
What I'm worried about is it's going to stand up.
Yep.
Luke's going to knock it over again.
Yep.
Then it's going to stand up.
Yep.
And Luke's going to knock it over again.
Yep.
What happens if the creature cannot move away? What does it say there? Because there is a little thing in there that says if a creature cannot move away, something happens.
No, that's only in the fear spell. In the cause fear spell,
Yeah.
it doesn't have that.
It just cowers.
It does what frightened is, and I'm just looking up the frightened ability to just double check for you. Flees from the source of its fear as best it can. If unable to flee, it may fight. Frightened creature takes -2 penalty on all attack rolls, saving throws, skill checks, and ability checks. Can use its special abilities, including spells, to flee. Indeed, they must.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the only way to escape. It's like shaken, except the creature must flee if possible. Panicked is a more extreme state of fear.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that's important for me to know because there is a perception if you can't get away that it's going to fight.
Fight its way clear.
Yeah.
Yep. Reginald, run.
Yes.
Run to the
I've got
main
it
hall.
though. I've got it. I've got it on the ropes.
Run.
All right.
That'll do. And Flopsy's going to move to the to Miles, close to Miles, towards Miles, but not next to the creature.
Okay. So he moves up to Miles. That is round number 3. Look, this is a pretty epic moment. There's some things that are about to happen. But you know what happens in this juncture, guys? I smile at you. I look at Lindsay and I say, you know, you are
Dead.
You are enough.
the employee of the month.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And I want you to take that into the night as we retire.
Oh,
and
man.
do this
I
next
had this thing
time.
on the ropes. I was all over it.
Did you though?
Yeah, I did.
Did
I really
you?
did. Yeah, yeah,
Did
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Did you? Did you? Just. can do upon itself. It's ridiculous. These things are actually, I've never come across these creatures before. They're actually lovely. As a GM, they are really good creatures.
actually did some damage
Even
and some good
Tia
stuff.
would have struggled against some of these guys.
They're going to run out of power at some point. There's no petrol at this place.
Good job, delivery.